Holy smokes, holy smokes, holy smokes, holy smokes. Happy holidays, happy new year, happy whatever you just celebrated, Merry Christmas. Like we're back after a much needed little breaky break. Did you have a break? Did you get a break? Did you get a chance to break and just like stop, flip it and reverse it and kind of calm down a little bit? Or did you spend all your holiday season keyed up, running all over the place, you know, here and there, cooking up a storm or hosting a storm, or maybe barfing up a storm? Who knows? Like many things happened in this neck of the woods. But like I say, I'm just like, I'm hoping you did get a break, or at least some time that was restorative for you or reparative that you got to spend with people that you love and appreciate, and you're ready to go kick 2023 in the teeth. Let's kick it in the teeth. Let's go. Seriously. Really. So like I say, welcome to another episode 89. Holy shit. We're almost at 100. We're getting there. Episode 89. Welcome to 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast with me, your host, Tanya Candler, aka Axl Rose. I don't know what's going on. I'm a woman of many hats and many chapeaus, and this fucking chapeau took so fucking long to frame. I didn't know how long it was going to take me to make this goddamn podcast. Like I said yesterday, I was going to say if like last week was a week, it would be Tanya Candler and the goddams, because goddamn, it was crazy. But we'll get into that later. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. I got a nice chai tea from Hornby Island when Rob was out traveling, filming documentary stuff. He always brings me back little fun things and trinkets. And he knows that I'm not a girl who likes things that are super expensive. I'm like, bring me back a $500 dress. Bring me back this and bring me back designer that. I was like, can I have some like tea? So he brings me like tea and beard oil. So I get to smell it and check it out and everything like that. And he gets to put it in beard and I get to put it in my hair. So everyone wins. So this tea is from Hornby Island, way out in BC. Like you have to take like 3 million ferries to get there. And this tea comes from there. And it's a rooibos chai tea. I don't know if you are a tea drinker, but if you like tea, this stuff's lovely. I think it's called like East Coast, West Coast. I don't know what it's called. Some kind of coast tea, but it's amazing. And I think you can only get it on Hornby Island. And I think you can maybe order it. We're going to take a trip out there sometime, I think in the summer. Hopefully it won't be too many damn tourists. I hate that, but that's what you get in the summer. And then you become one of them because like that's what you are when you're going down there. That's what I would be essentially down there. I'd just be a tourist. But yeah, you try to like blend in when you're on vacation. You try to look like one of the locals. Like even when we go to Disney and stuff like that, I make sure that I look like I'm a season park pass holder. There are ways to do this. I'll talk about that on another episode. That said, like I said, Sergeant Slaughter's in the house. I'm ready to slaughter another week with you and talk about all kinds of things. So many things have happened in the last 2 weeks that there's a little bit to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. Are we okay? Are you okay? Is everything cool? Are we cool? I'm good. I'm good. I'm cool with you if you're cool with me. Did you get sick over the holidays? Did you? I will tell you, there's a bug going around, especially like where we are, and we got sick over the holidays, after the holidays, just like Boxing Day. It was a Boxing Day BARF-O-RAMA. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it was really terrible. But like I say, well, if I could call this bug anything, I would rename it the Fast and the Furious. It was in and out like a sailor, and it was just terrible. Like terrible. First, like I really thought I pigged out too much and I ate too much. Because you know at Christmas, you have too many, like, not drinks. Like I don't drink alcohol, but even when you have too many like fizzy drinks, like even when I'm making things with grenadine and fun syrups in them and I'm having those, and then you have like an eggnog, or I have like an oat nog, sorry, because I don't eat meat or don't drink milk and stuff. So I have oat nog, which is awesome. Oh yeah. So I have that. I'm like, oh, I drank too much eggnog. I feel crappy. Fast forward to like the most vivid like barfing. It's like I thought I took ayahuasca. I'm like, am I gonna have an ego death soon? Nope, didn't happen. It was just like bathroom floor sick, fevers. It was just ugly. It was laundry. But like I say, I can't blame it on the non-alcoholic drinks because it wasn't that. everything was cool, like I say, until Boxing Day. And then wham! Last Christmas, I gave you my barf. Like, seriously, it was terrible. But like now talking about it on like the back end and being away from it, it's funny. But anyone who's going through it is not fucking laughing. Ugh, it was vivid. Like wicked. And I've never been so grateful, honestly, to feel better and feel like a little bit more rested. Because a few people were like, they reached out to me and they were like, Tanya, like, you look exhausted. I'm like, my friend, I am. Like, it's like when you get sick, not only are you sick, but it's like your family's like not well either. So you got to take care of like everybody, and everybody pitches in. Well, I mean, the kids, you got to take care of the kids first, right? So you get tired and it's a lot, but you get through it and you don't bitch about it. You just do it. I'm still not super hungry, but that's okay. I think I porked on a couple of pounds, mine, even with the barfing on the holidays. I will blame that on fucking Christmas cookies, because I was bad this year with Christmas cookies. What did you indulge in this year? I was bad with Christmas cookies and like mashed potatoes with anything, because I love mashed potatoes. Because number one, being of like Polish descent and then English descent, like on the other side, so much Eastern European and Eastern Europe, and then so much like Polish and on the other side is like English and Scottish and Welsh, and you know, there's like Viking stuff in there. There's so much when you go through my ancestry that I'm so peppered with. It's cool. Like we're even Jewish way down the line. So mazel tov, my friends. Like I say, it's cool. So I had all the holidays. Like I will say, I celebrate kind of a little bit of everything. So, and why not? Because get the kids involved and get them educated about what kind of holidays are out there. There's not only Christmas. There are many things to celebrate. There are many ways and many reasons to celebrate, and many people you can celebrate with, and things you can do, and fun crafts. Just any reason to celebrate. If you don't have kids, it's a reason to get drunk. There you go. There you go. And if your kids are watching this podcast, no, I've told you a million times before, don't do this shit. Trigger warning. I'm going to give you a trigger warning right now because this is fucking gross. Because I want to know, what'd y'all get? What'd y'all get for your holiday? What'd you get as a Christmas gift? Or maybe your birthday's around the holidays. I know a few people that are born on Christmas, so like sucks for them. Because like all their people, like they don't treat it like it's a separate day. They're just like one gift to catch them all. I'm like, oh, you didn't get a Christmas gift and a birthday gift? They just comboed it? I feel like that's mean. I feel like that's really mean. So they didn't put it together. But like I say, I got Rob a Christmas gift. And what Christmas gift did I get my husband after vowing I would never buy him it? Never. Number one, it grosses me out so bad. Number two, is it even safe or approved by the FDA? And number three, the video almost gave me a fucking heart attack. I had to go to the bathroom and throw up. So I'm probably wondering, and you're probably wondering, and you got to ask yourself that question. Tanya, what the hell did you get him for Christmas that made you like get sick, that you were so against? What was this? What was this thing? Again, instead of not getting it for him for Christmas, I could have done the thing where I just let my ego lead me. But instead, I put that shit on the shelf because you know what? I live by the pillar of happy spouse, happy house. And if he wants something because it's going to bring him joy, even though it's going to gross me out, I'm going to get it for him. Because number one, he'll be surprised. Because I'll bitch about it. And then he'll be like, oh, you're bitching about that. I'll never get it. Number two, he's happy because he gets the thing that he didn't think that he was going to get. So what is it? What is this disgusting display of affection? None other than it's connected to a Bluetooth. It's a little fiber optic camera on the end of an ear cleaner, and it goes down into your ear, and you can see on your cell phone as you're cleaning your ear hole. It hooks up to the little Bluetooth on your phone, and you're guiding it through your ear and watching it on a camera simultaneously while you're freeing your ears of whatever's in there. So I just think It is the most revolting thing ever because like Rob loves to watch those videos, like people like Dr. Pimple Popper. And I'm not saying she's not amazing. She's great at excise and drains and like getting things out like a pus volcano. And like, honestly, so I told Rob, I said, you know, if you like Dr. Pimple Popper and you like all this ear cleaning stuff, I said, I was telling him back in the days of dentistry and the things that we used to do and how gross it was. I got a gross story for you after this too. You got to remind me because it's about Christmas. But back in the days of the dental office and the things that we used to do, and we used to do things called an incise and drain, which I just brought up. So what that is when someone's got a big dental abscess, a big infection, and you got to drain it. You got to put a tiny little puncture mark in. Like I'm talking so small, and you can't freeze the patient because infection neutralizes anesthetic. It's just a thing. It's just the way it is. And so you just make a small incision, but then the pus comes out like lava. It's horrible. So I was telling Rob, I'm like, if you like Dr. Pimple Popper, go watch excise and drain videos on YouTube. I wouldn't watch them because like I've been there, man. I've been there. I've been at the side of the dentist chair when they're like popping open a huge fucking abscess and there's just pus everywhere. It's fucking, unless you've seen it or smelled it, I'm just going to put it out there. Not for you. Not good. So gross, right? So other Christmas gifts. I was thinking about Christmas gifts and over the holidays. And then I remember a story because I've been talking to like my, you know, you talk to your aunts and your uncles and everybody over the holidays. You talk to your fam jam and whatever. And I was talking to my one uncle, my mom's brother. And when he was younger, way before he had kids, he was a real practical jokester. And they used to go up to our cottage, which was kind of like on a lake. And they had a nickname for the cottage. They call it Tub Lake. And it was guys' weekend. And they'd make like a photocopied like zine. They'd have menus and what they were going to do. They'd go fishing, they'd go hunting. And they'd make a menu like based off of what they'd kill or whatever. They go duck hunting mostly and fishing. And so one guy would cook and everything, but they'd get really, really, really thrashed fucking drunk. Like drunk. Fucking drunk. And in a funny way, because they do like practical jokes to each other. Nothing hurtful, but just silly jokes. Like funny jokes, like a nice joke. No one's going to get hurt. It was before the days of like Facebook and social media, so it's not going to end up anywhere except in their Tub Lake photos. You know, someone was there with the camera and some filming, right? So one year, a guy got so loaded up at Tub Lake, they decided to strip him into his like underwear or naked. I don't know. I'm going to say underwear, but it was probably naked. And they wrapped him up in all Christmas wrapping paper and taped his ass up and stuck him under the tree. And when his drunk ass woke up the next morning, he had to bust out of this paper. Like he didn't know where he was. So imagine like waking up like hungover. I remember the days. Like I remember like it's been a long time since I had a drink, but like I drink a lot like of water, but like I don't drink. Like I can't. And it's been a long time, but I remember the hangovers because they were terrible. I can't imagine being so hungover and then waking up and being like, I don't know where the fuck I am. And then trying to bust out a wrapping paper like a mummy. Like imagine that shit. And then another time, another guy got drunk. So what'd they do? He passed out somewhere too. So what'd they do? Made a whole heap of hamburger helper, put it in his crotch, and he woke up to the dog eating the hamburger helper out of his crotch. I'm laughing while I say this because it's so asinine and so immature, but it's so funny. It's just like something guys would do in a group when they got together. And let me tell you, I've done some pretty weird shit with my lady friends as well, and those that identify as female. We've done some pretty funny shit. While I'm penning my memoirs, I'll write that down because I'm not going to tell you over a podcast because my mom watches this podcast. Mom, you can read this. Or maybe my memoir come out long after you can even like see. And like, you won't read Braille and you won't see it, hear it. You don't need to know. But like I say, I have done some things with my girlfriends that are way on par with that. If not worse. And I totally admit to it. But it's funny. I'm not going to tell you though. Speaking, like I say, of wasted youth, all this time off, I had time to do things that I wanted to do instead of things that I had to do. Obviously, I still had to fulfill like work and company like obligations and stuff like that. But doing things that I wanted to do, like listening to more records, I got to quit like an absolutely mint stereo system, and like I'll tell you about it later. It's amazing. But I got to listen to a lot of records because of course I've been building like playlists for Spin the Bottle. And because I love music, it was fun to kind of sit back and like reminisce with all the albums. I have a very big vinyl collection. I still like CDs and tapes and 8-tracks and all that stuff. And I want to share that with you and all the fun, music. Before it was like digital and everything was Spotify or Apple Music and everything was on the internet and you can get everything on your phone. Pop a record on, listen to it till it's done. Like put on one side and then flip the other side over. That's how we did it. Same with like cassettes and tapes. That's how we fucking listened to music, like, and CDs. And like I listen to it with my kids because like they need to know that music just doesn't come out of the television or out of, I don't want to say her name, but you know who I'm talking about. Sometimes she's your personal assistant and sometimes she's your personal enemy. Sometimes she's terrible. You don't want to talk to her. Sometimes she plays things that you don't even want. My kids tell her to go on atomic fart mode. Try to put her on atomic fart mode and see what happens, especially with your kids. Oh, fuck. I'll give you like suggestions with your kids. My suggestion is that your kids do not watch or listen to this podcast. Holy shit. But I'm excited to share this with y'all and all the records. Like I've been soundtracking my life since I was like a little kid. I was talking about like soundtracking and wearing my Walkman and going to the variety store as a kid. There's a variety store that was close to my Oma's house, and we were always able to go to the variety store. And when I go by myself, I'd wear my Walkman. I'd be listening to usually the Beatles, to be perfectly honest, because that was like my favorite band when I was a kid. Or I had this tape of the Beach Boys. It was the greatest hits, and it was awesome. It was yellow, and I think one of my girlfriends still has it, which is hilarious. But it was just like this great tape, and I listened to it in my yellow Sony Walkman, and I'd have it like glued on my hip. I'd be like 10 and I'd be like the coolest kid ever with my like the headphones that fit inside your ears, so I didn't have like the big like puffy ones, so like I was already like super cool. So I go to the variety store and my Oma would give me like money, and this is days you just go to the variety store, you're a little kid and nothing's gonna happen, because strangers were strange, but they weren't as strange as they are today. I will say that. I'm sure they were out there, but they weren't as prevalent, and there weren't as many known predators as there are today. So I just walked to the variety store because it was around the corner. Go there, get scratch tickets, because I'd buy them for my grandmother, like my Oma, and this guy would let me buy them. Like I did not look of age. I was like clearly 10. And then she'd give me some extra pocket money, and I'd get myself like a chocolate bar, or I'd get myself a bag of chips or something that I usually wouldn't like get at home. I'd get a treat, right? Or I'd get a popsicle. And I was talking about how the greatest thing is, like a kid, like being a kid, was like going to the corner store and getting yourself a popsicle like Pete, and then breaking it in half and sharing it with your friend, like on a piece of brick, like outside the corner store or the variety store, or like the Hasty Market or Max Milk or whatever, or Becker's or whatever, wherever you went for your libations as a child. But we used to go there, and I was saying to my kids the other day, I was joking, that stolen juice tastes better than like just bought juice. And they're like, what do you mean? So my sister and I had gone to the variety store. I think like it was like a hot summer day, and my Oma had given us money. It was like, get yourself some treats and whatever. And so we spent them all on like penny candy. And my sister loves sour candies, like sour soothers and those sour suckers and stuff like that. So she got some like sour keys and sour soothers and Sour Patch Kids and probably cherry blasters or something like that. And I probably got potato chips because I'm, a fat kid. So I got like potato chips and probably like beef jerky because I was probably eating meat at the time. And probably like, knowing me, probably like licorice or something. Out of cash. It's a hot summer day. I'm like, oh darn, like we don't have a drink. So then all of a sudden we see my grandmother, like my Oma's neighbor. And her name was Olga, but for some reason he saw the Dark Crystal too many times. He always called her Ogra. Like that character on the Dark Crystal. So Ogre this, Ogre that. So we knew him. So he was a kid who was about our age. So he was at the variety store, and we were just sitting down having our, snacks and whatever like that. And he was just like, oh, you girls look thirsty. It's hot. I'm like, yeah, we are thirsty. He was like, do you want a drink? And we were just like, sure. So he had like a backpack, and it was just like full of juices, like the ones in bottles that come in bottles. And then there's fruit punch, and there was orange and peach drink and all kinds of stuff like that. I think I took a peach drink because I still drink that shit to this day. It's terrible for you, but I love it. It's fucking terrible for you. It's got wax in it. Ah! And I don't know what my sister took. Probably like anything other than like apple juice or something. So So we had these drinks and whatever. And like what I didn't realize is that the juice truck for the company was like right there with the logo on it. And I don't want to say what the name of the company, but he had stolen all this juice off the back of the truck. But I remember it being so refreshing because it was summer and I was just like, oh my God, stolen juice tastes so much better than bought juice. And I felt so guilty because I had stolen once as a child, like knowingly. I took like a couple of jelly beans from a variety store and my mom made me go back and tell the teller, like the person that was working there, that make it sound like a bank, the convenience store worker that I stole, and I had to give them to this person, and they gave me shit. And I was young. I was like 3 and a half, 4, like young enough to understand like right and wrong though, and why I shouldn't have taken those jelly beans. I have never stolen another thing since. It scared the living shit out of me. This scared the shit out of me. Nobody yelled, nobody screamed, but I had to go and admit that I was wrong. And that sucked. But I learned about admitting that you're wrong like really young. So it didn't suck too bad. I will say that. Like I say, soundtracking our lives. So I've always done it. Like I did it in our house, like when I was a kid. Like even when we were small, like we put on records like with my dad and he'd kind of soundtrack stuff. There's always music going on in the house. And then fast forward to being like a teenager and hanging out with your friends in high school and different musical influences and things like that. And we drive around in each other's cars because not all of us had a license. But my one friend did, and she had like a hatchback car. And we go tooting around in this car. We go driving around, smoking DeMaurier, like ultralight cigarettes, because they'd sell it to us at this one variety store. We'd go in. They would not ask for ID. We'd just go in, we'd get cigarettes, we'd go out and we'd be like drinking pop, going to McDonald's or some shit, or going to Tim Hortons probably, both. And drinking coffee, staying up all night, going past our crushes' houses and drinking like tons and tons of caffeine. But like smoking so many cigarettes. Like I can't believe how many cigarettes were actually consumed. Ridiculous. And these friends, like it's still funny because we still talk about these, but we listened to tapes that I'd make of soundtracks. So it would be like I'd be soundtracking our lives, and mostly when I'd cruise with these two particular women, we would listen to like the Ventures. So it'd all be like do 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 do. It'd all be like Hawaii 5-0 and like Walk Don't Run or like Moonwalk or any of those kinds of things, or like almost like Dick Dale and the Deltones stuff, like surf rock, but like all done by the Ventures. So it was always like fun to drive around, be like, we wouldn't even like get stoned or anything. We'd just go around and smoke cigarettes. And I don't know, one time I think I laughed so hard in the back of her car, I pissed myself and I pissed all over her seats. And then we had to use dog spray to like get all the pee-pee out of the car. And then they made me laugh again. And I have a weak bladder already to begin with. And I pissed down my legs and into my Doc Martens. How fucking goth is that? Not very. Oh, like I say, these weren't my only cruising buddies. Like I say, my BFF in high school, like other than like my female BFF, was like he was a guy. Like it was a boy that I hung out with from kind of like a farm town, and he was my best friend. And he turned me on to cars and cigars. He was quite the guy. Like we were really good friends. He was a ginger-haired guy, so immediately we were friends because I love gingers. Funny thing is, like I never had a crush on him and he never had a crush on me. We always had a really super platonic relationship. And I have a lot of these with men because I just find that I'm not one of the guys, but I am one of the guys. Like even when I was a kid, it was like, Tanya, you're a real tomboy. I have a very tight knit circle of female and friends and like friends that identify as female. And then I have a really good tight knit circle of male friends because sometimes I'm just a dude. Like, what can I say? I run a grooming company and mostly bearded people. Like, I have ladies that buy off me, but mostly bearded people buy off of me. So sometimes I'm just a dude. What can I say? But like, he was my best bud. He drove a 1969 Firebird and it was black. And I wouldn't have been like so into cars, but this thing was like the Batmobile to me, like in high school. And we used to drive around in his car and we used to smoke cigars, but then we also used to smoke blunts. So if you don't know what a blunt is, I don't know how old I was. This was like after I was in Kittie. So I was probably like closer to 18, 17. So he'd sleep over at my house all the time and everything like that. And we'd go cruising in his car, and then he introduced me to these blunts. And I'm like, what's a blunt? And I'm like, looks like a cigar. Well, he's like, it kind of is. I'm like, cool. I'm having this cigar, but I didn't realize it was a cannabis cigar. So it's full of marijuana. So it's weed. So smoking weed, smoking fatty, smoking cigars, like cruising the town with this guy all night, but like terrible, like being like teenagers. And like he's trolling for chicks because he was always looking for girls. And he was like, Tate, just set me up with your friends. I'm just like, I'm not setting you up with my friends. You're crazy. Funnest friend, but I didn't want to set him up with any of my girlfriends because I just didn't want to unleash this on them. He's real fun. He loved to party and stuff like that, but I don't think it would be boyfriend material. Good best friend material, though. Good best friend material. And like I say, most men are like good best friend material, like for me, like, and most of my, like I say, most of my best friends, a lot of my best friends are male, with the exception of like a handful of like my female friends are like my like closest, like nearest, dearest people that are like my secret jars of magic. Like, what can I say? My most trusted circle of witches. What can I say? It's a good thing that my partner is not a jealous man, because the men that I interact with on a daily, hourly like basis is a lot. You'd think that I ran like an OnlyFans or some shit. I'm like, no. I just make grooming oil. I don't sell pictures of myself on the internet. I don't get all. Well, sometimes I get all, but you know, I don't get all. So I just think that's funny. I think topless anything is great. You know what I mean? I don't need to go out there and shake my whole asshole. But why not free the nipple? I mean, why not? Like, you've seen the hashtag? Why not? Why not? So those are good trips down memory lane. Like I say, I had lots of good trips down memory lane because I was doing what I wanted to do. And so the kids were like taking around, making music this holiday season. The kids were like making noise on something, banging on it. And it reminded me of making spit. And it transported me back to recording spit with Garth Richardson, probably one of the nicest, most like polite producers, but like also think out of the box producers that I've ever worked with. And he was doing spit with us when I was a baby. I was young when I was recording spit. So I remember like distinctly one time us banging on all these like garbage cans at Emax Studios, like in London, because like tin sounded different and he wanted this like big sound. I don't know if he wanted like Bob Rocky or what, but it sounded huge. So I remember it going into like a drum track or something. So it just like it magically transported me back to these days and drum tracking with garbage cans and Garth Richardson. So why not? And the folks at like Emax Studios were the same as like Garth. They were like kind and professional, and like for a bunch of like little kids that raised a lot of shit at a studio, they put up with us. Like I say, they put up with us. That's good. And the folks at EMAC to this day are wonderful. Even the people they have working now, it's different than it was when I was 16. Because obviously in like 25, odd years, things change a bit. You think? Just a bit. But like I say, soundtracking, narrating, and all these things have always been things that I'm good at. I've always been told, and I've obviously been gifted with the gift of gab. Because who the fuck talks to themselves for over an hour, like at least every week? Me, that's who. But I mean, like I say, as a voice actor, things make sense in a way they never did. And now I will tell you a story about being a small child before voice acting, because when I was a small kid, I didn't realize that like voice actors were people like talking inside of animals. I thought the Muppets were alive. Like, I didn't realize they were puppets, like for a while, like a long while. And, we had this gentleman up at our cottage. He was this guy, and he was a very eccentric man, very over the top. And he had the exact same voice as Templeton the Rat from your favorite piece of vegan kryptonite and mine, Wilbur. Oh, wow, look at him now. He's Zuckerman's famous pig from Charlotte's Web. Like, the E.B. White classic, Charlotte's Web. Well, Templeton the Rat. He had this voice in the movie, and I can't remember the voice actor's name off the top of my head. But he was like, Charlotte, are you going to finish that? Like the way he talked was exactly like this guy at my cottage. And he'd always come over and talk to my sister and I and my mom because he was just a friendly guy. But his voice, I thought that Templeton the Rat from Charlotte's Web, sorry, paper, I thought he came in and like crawled inside of this man and took over his voice. Because as a kid, I didn't realize that that's how voice actors work. And then also, I kind of like saw like alien movies like really young and stuff. So I don't know. This lines up. I don't think I should have saw Alien as young as I saw it. Because then I saw things crawl inside people. And I knew that it was happening. So this all makes sense. Like it's all like all the planets are aligning in the right way. I guess your parents never warn you about your future strange appetites and habits and things that you're going to like. They could possibly become, destructive behaviors. But who knows? Nobody really warns you about that shit that's going to happen. Sometimes you get a warning like, look out for this. Like I got a warning about like alcohol when I was young, but it wasn't from my parents. It was from somebody else. There was like, on the Eastern European side, there's a lot of people that, drank themselves to death, in your family, Tanya. And on your dad's side, there was a lot of, like drinking stuff. So maybe be careful with drinking. So that's like one reason why I do not drink. The other reason is it makes me deathly ill. There is nothing, I will tell you, in this world that could make me have a drink of alcohol right now. It just, no thank you. I can't. I don't judge anyone who does, but just it doesn't agree with me well. Or it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I'll say. I woke up naked on Boxing Day, other than like getting like sick. I woke up naked. We weren't feeling well. So I'm going to try to blame this one on a fever. But I woke up naked in a hat, not this hat, but like in a beanie on the couch, facing the opposite way I went to sleep in with like a fire like blazing. This was like on friggin' Boxing Day. Like I woke up to a fire. I'm like, what? Like it was like in my fireplace, obviously. Dog sleeping, nowhere, like no one is anywhere to be found. I'm just like, where did everybody go? And then like this is right before the puking started. I'm like, why do I have no clothes on? My clothes are on the floor. The dog didn't mess with them. Maybe I took them off in a fit of like fever craziness. Because like, you can do that when you get a fever and you get like weird dreams and just like, it can happen. So I woke up naked on Boxing Day. And then it turned into like a total BARF-O-RAMA. But I can't believe I didn't take off my hat. I do wear a lot of hats. I will say this. I do wear a lot of fucking hats. And speaking of hats I wear, one is obviously owner and like maker, well, co-owner and maker, because like obviously Rob does his part too for the grooming company, but of a Rockaholic grooming company. But this week on Beards N Bitchin, I gotta tell you, this week on Beards N Bitchin, there's a new whiz on the block. There's a new wizard in town. Honestly, he still likes hard rock because he's the hemp wizard on the block. Woo! I've been talking to the hemp wizard. And this is Mike. Mike is the hemp wizard. And him and his partner own Hemp Wizard like beer company. And their product, I hear all about it all over the internet. I've seen like the raves. I've seen the reviews. It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. Now, there's many good things about a hemp wizard. What can I tell you? How many good things can I say about this company and Mike as a person? He's really into community and connecting people and wanting to like connect people through like the bearded community and music and stuff like that. That I appreciate because I'm the same way. It's like, let's get some people together. Let's get some bands together. Let's, he reached out to me and let's chat, beard oil, grooming oil. Like it's cool. Like let's talk bands. Like nice guy, easy to talk to. And he's using revolutionary techniques in his products. Things have come a long way for beard care since, the 1960s when beards like kind of rise up to kind of popularity again and things get really kind of like fun with facial hair again. It was before people like just grew stuff on their face and didn't shave because they were lazy. This is because they actually wanted to have like an art. They wanted to do something cool with their face. Now, according to Mike, I will say he was telling me about these products, like, and I did my research, like, and everyone is saying, this is not just according to Mike, this is according to everything that I've heard. These products are amazing because he's using terpenes in these products. So in these oils and lotions and skincare products and all these things you can do to take care of yourself, he's using terpenes from marijuana. And that said, so this is a non-psychoactive a substance that he's using in his products. So it's not going to get you stoned there, my friend. So sorry. Like if you want to go get stoned, smoke a joint or go vape or whatever the fuck you want to do. Like go smoke a can of cigar. Go smoke a blunt. But really, what it's going to do for you and your skin and your hair and your beard is actual, like, true magic. And, like, the hemp wizard is a real fucking wizard because he's casting spells all over your hair, like good ones. And all I've heard is good things. I haven't heard one bad thing. Like, I've seen what he, like, Mike sends out in his packages. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of things, like colors and, like, fun things going on. Like I say, he pairs music with it. He's paired up with a lot of local bands where he is as well. And so there's a lot of stickers and everybody likes to get a package full of fun. What can I say? But what is going on with the terpenes in the beard oil? Now he uses, one of the terpenes he uses predominantly is Blue Dream. And the dominant terpene in that is myrcene. And what can terpenes do for your beard? So if you don't know anything about terpenes, I will just give you a rundown of some of the properties it can help. It will stop that itch, especially in this dry, crazy ass weather when it gets dry and then it's raining and it's snowing and it's dry and like you gotta light a fire. It's crazy. So it's hard for your hair and your beard and everything to kind of calm down. So these terpenes will like stop like the brittle breakage and the dryness and the itch of dry skin and hair. So it's very, very moisturizing, that said. Extremely moisturizing. And this is moisture that kind of stays around. It's anti-inflammatory. So even if you're like, you F up when you shave. I mean, let's say you're shaving your legs and your legs get red. Like, you know what I mean? Put some lotion on there. The terpenes will soothe that inflammation down. They'll bring the redness down because there's a lot of vitamins in it as well. They'll bring that down. It's antifungal because nobody wants mushrooms in their beard. It's antibacterial. It's antimicrobial. So it's going to keep the little germies and wormies out. You know what I mean? It's going to keep things clean and it's going to keep things healthy. So things are going to grow within your hair. So it's just better than that shit you're going to buy at the store. Just put it back. Put it back. So like Mike reached out to me and I really love the way, like I say, he connects folks through these common interests. And like I say, we have a common interest that is music. I love the hemp outfit, like the hemp wizard outfit. I think that and like the staff and everything is like completely amazing. I obviously am a woman of many outfits and I love to dress up. So the fact that like Mike goes out and socializes with his clients and clientele and stuff like that, and potential clients as the hemp wizard and really like represents his company. I think it's fun and I think it's a great thing you can do. So I think it's a great thing he's doing. I think it's cool. And like, I'm not gonna say this lightly. He looks like a real wizard. So it makes me think that wizards are real. I got horrible allergies to it, like this today. It's terrible. I haven't been able to shake them all day long. They just won't go away. And I can't take Benadryl or any of that crap. So it's just like honey and scratching your face. That's great. But what can I say? Check out this company, the Hemp Wizard. Like, just check it out. He's on like my Rockaholic page. He's on my 21st Century Rocker Mom page. You can see that. I'll put up links so you'll be able to see things with Hemp Wizard and see what's going on in the hemp world with beards. Because I think a lot of you would probably benefit from something like this. It might be really cool. It might be something cool to try. So check them out. Because you're hearing it from my giant ass mouth. Just check them out. And others with sizable pie holes are also saying that this company is awesome. So there you go. My big mouth is going to be 40 on the 24th of January. So what am I doing? What am I doing for my birthday? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing for my birthday. So the Rockaholic giveaway is still going. Like the one that we're trying to get to like 500, like that one's still going on. We haven't hit 500 followers yet on Instagram, so that one's still going on. And we do hit 500 followers. Someone is going to get randomly drawn, and you're going to get the whole launch collection before I pull everything off the shelf, because it's not going to be all those scents in the new year. Only some are coming with me, because some are, winter scents, and some are more, heavier scents. We're going to get some different things for the spring and summer. Got some fun things coming at ya. I got some really classic things coming at you too. But so the Rockaholic giveaway is going to be near my birthday. So as close as it can be to the 24th of January, which is my 40th birthday. So I'm doing a giveaway. And this giveaway is going to be absolutely gigantic. So you're going to have to listen to the podcast to listen for your name. I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it on live or if I'm going to do it and just spin a wheel and your name will just get like picked and you can just watch, because I've got all your entries. I said like you can enter till January the 1st and then you're done entering. But I've got all your entries. I got everybody's name down and everybody's, how many entries you have too is like how many times I will enter you, because I said you can enter as many times as you want. So there you go. So this is going to be a big gift because I'm going to be 40. So why not give something fucking huge away? So that is the plan. So go follow the music, follow Rockaholic. I promised you a big gift this week and here it is. Beard emergency. Woo, 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 woo. What happens when you have a beard emergency and you don't have any beard oil at home, or you're away somewhere and you don't have anything to do with your beard? Like you're in trouble and you don't want to go to the fucking grocery store. You don't want to go to Walmart and buy some like emergency thing for your beard that you probably don't want to put in it. And maybe it smells like a tree and it's just not mixed well, or there's a cheap oil in it, or there's something alcohol-y in it that's going to strip everything and dry it out. So I said, you know what, why don't you DIY your own oil? If you want to make an ounce, like maybe do 4 carrier oils that you like, whatever you like. Do a 1/4 ounce of each. Do a 2-ounce bottle, okay? Do a 2-ounce bottle. No, do a 1-ounce bottle. Do a 1-ounce bottle. Use a 1/4 ounce of each, because I want you to go minimal here. Do yourself a 1-ounce bottle if you want to do just one bottle. Use a 1/4 ounce of each carrier oil that you like. Maybe you like hemp seed, castor oil, meadow foam seed oil, and argan oil. There you go. There's 4 carrier oils. And so, put them together, get them all together, put them in a darker, bottle with a dropper or a shaker top, whatever you like. The shake dropper or the medicine looking dropper. Put that in and put about, 5 to 10 drops of oil in there, whatever scents you want. But you got to look at your scents and see how, the concentration of them, and see how many scents you can put into that 1 ounce of oil, like what your carrier is. Because some scents are punchier than others and you can use less drops to get more of a scent out of them. But if you use more drops and try to get like a maximum scent of that, like a last all day scent or something like that, by using more of it, that is not how you're going to achieve it. You're going to actually burn yourself, or burn the person you're potentially making your product for, yourself in this case. So use something that you like. Make something that you like. I have been making all kinds of things. This is a quick fix, like I say, and it's great to have around the house. I will share a quick DIY, like a grooming oil or a beard oil or shave oil like recipe on my stories, and you'll see it on 21st Century Rocker Mom. So you can make that up for yourself, like in your, wherever you're going to do it, in your bathroom. I don't know where you do it. And just have it in your house as an emergency. Like, get those items from somewhere, order them. I think you can probably order them off Amazon. I use a bunch of different companies, like 4 different companies, 5 different companies now. Yeah, 5 different companies for scents and oils, because everything comes, and I've heard lots of people say this, everything comes from different places and things like that. So it's good to be a lady of the market. What can I say? But I'm saying you can order some of those things off like Amazon if you need to, and get there the next day if you just need like quick carrier oils and you're just doing something at home for like an emergency. If you're not trying to do anything crazy fancy, you know what I mean? Get yourself even like castor oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, get almond oil, whatever, whatever you want to use, coconut oil, whatever you like. Just don't use olive oil and be weird, and put some fragrances in it. But like, test out on a little patch of your skin, see how you feel. I've been doing all kinds of things. Like I said, I was making new things at the company, and I made some butters, and they're all set now. I made a whole shuzload last evening, and they're all set now, and they're ready to go. And so butters are going to be coming at you in the new year. Whoop! They won't be coming in these containers, not in these little tin containers, because those are mustache wax containers, which is also coming to you in the new year. The mustache wax has been sent out and tested, and I've got good feedback about it. And so yeah, the mustache wax is coming out, and so is some beard butter. I'm probably going to stick some balm in there and just do some oils, some butters, some balms, and some waxes, and have those coming at you for the new year. We'll vote on what you guys, kind of want and what you're interested in, and we'll see. And some scents, like I say, some scents are going away forever, and some scents are new and they're coming at you. There'll be some limited releases that are coming out this year. So I'm really excited about those, because some of them are customs that I've done. So I'll do like a one-off. I'll do like, like 50 bottles of one thing, and then when it's gone, it's gone. Because if I did 50 bottles of the Captain's Blend and then didn't refill it when it's gone, it would be gone forever. That is our top seller. Like I'll say, it still is at Rockaholic. Like I say, a lot of people like barbershop scent. It is my twist on a barbershop scent. It is not traditional whatsoever. It's all over the place. It is a crazy barbershop scent. So if you like that, that is the bottle for you. Now, speaking of bottles, we got Spin the Bottle. It's coming at you. Santa brought me, like I say, a wonderful new stereo system. It's going to be awesome with all the records I got. The thing is a monster. So I did a dry run, and I plugged it into my PA system to see how big it could be. I'm not going to use the PA system when we do the show, but it was absolutely booming loud. So I was like, oh, great. This is going to be so much fun. So I got all my record collection. I got things to go. My little ones got me all things to do with music and dad stuff and record collection stuff and things, everything. Christmas was lovely. I will say that. It was lovely. I think when you can roll all your kind of favorite loves and things into one little package, I think it's kind of fun. And when you can share it with other people, I think that's kind of the best thing on earth. So that was the way that Spin the Bottle came about. It's fun that I get to share my love of these things with other folks. You know what I mean? You guys get to experience it too. And then at the end, you get to win something. That's fun, right? You know what I mean? I want to do something that's fun. I want to make something together. I want to do something together. I want to chit chat. I want to listen to records together. I want to hang out together. You know what I mean? And then make something fun. So why not? Why the hell not? The first episode could have been a country episode given my current musical dabblings, because I've been watching a lot of George and Tammy. And on Showtime, that show about George Jones and Tammy Wynette. And it is a bop. It's a huge bop. Because seriously, I didn't realize George Jones was such a drinker and such a badass. And more abusive than I realized. I'll be talking about abuse later, but this is not about George Jones' abuse. But he was an abuser big time, and Tammy Wynette left him because of the drinking and the abuse. She herself got hooked on pain medication after a bad hysterectomy. Not good. But Stand By Your Man, that show is a bop. I gotta tell you. You gotta check out George and Tammy. I love it. And I introduced Rob, because we had some time to watch a few films and things like that. I introduced Rob to an older Canuckian, Canadian film that he hadn't seen. It had Seth Rogen in it. It has Michelle Williams in it. It has Sarah Silverman in it. Not too many people are, there's not too many actors and actresses in it. There's not too many camera angles. It's Take This Waltz. And it's a good movie. It's a great movie. It's sad. It's kind of about a couple that's not really reached their kind of emotional maturity and potential. But they're married and they've been married for 5 years. And I think somebody gets the itch and everybody kind of knows what happens. But there's a thing in there. There's a thing, Rob was totally ready for the whole movie. He loved it. Except there was just one scene he just said that distracted from the whole movie because it just didn't need to be in there. And it was a shower scene with, it was Michelle Williams, Sarah Silverman, another lady who was acting in it, and these a myriad of old ladies buck naked in a shower just having a chat. And all the bush, Rob was closing his eyes. He was just tell me when it's over. Tell me when it's over. He was embarrassed. Not because he's a prude. Because he's just it takes away from the movie. And I was okay, I agree, right? Because a lot of things are if you've seen Game of Thrones, there's a lot of dangling that takes away from the show. I'm I don't need to see dicks swinging to enjoy this. You know what I mean? So like I say, the shower scene, all I can think when I watch that is, oh, these ladies need some beaver balm. We could use this on your beaver. From Rockaholic too. It'll look pretty. It'll smell pretty. There you go. If you're going to rock that kind of hair, it looks like a beard down there. So put some beaver balm on it. Your beaver's just screaming beaver. It's screaming for it. It looks like the nickel in Ontario. The screaming beaver. So what can I say? Rob was not ready for that. It's a whole fucking hedge fund down there. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. It was funny. So some women, and those that identify as such, love to rock that sort of 70s look. So like I say, that wild natural look. So Rob was so embarrassed. I was killing my fucking self. I was laughing so hard because all I could think was just tame that hair. Just tame those beavers. Just tame them down. Just make them happy. Tame your mane. Then somehow Rob got it out of me that when I was younger, when I wrote love letters to people that I had a crush on, that I would always like scent them with whatever I was like wearing. So I guess, I don't know, perfuming things always came natural. Like, what can I say? Like, I just always wanted to perfume things and make things smell nice. Because as a kid, and now still, like, I suffer from asthma, but then I read a book called Breathe, and then I let go of my puffer. I'll put this Breathe in my stories, because I can't even remember the author's name off the top of my head. But Breathe was a book that my uncle, actually one of my dad's brothers, recommended to me, and it's awesome. And if you have asthma, you should totally read this book. It all talks about the evolution, or rather the de-evolution of how we've kind of unlearned how to breathe. It's really scary, like how we've de-evolved into these creatures that don't even know how to breathe. It's super, super scary. Now, both my dad's brothers, like I say, my dad's middle brother recommended this book. Both of my dad's brothers are like two of the most interesting guys you ever meet on the earth. They're both so much like my dad and then not like my dad. It's cool. And since my dad left us, I've learned so much more about him, even though, you know, he's gone, through them. And I'm eternally grateful, and I'm blessed for that. And I'm blessed with that I have family that's so open and honest. And my uncles call me and like check up on me and make sure I'm cool. And, you know, like it's things that like a dad would do. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that like, yeah, they step up to where my dad is, but like they step up to like, you know, the plate. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's cool, and I'm grateful. So I say, when I post this link about this book, check out this book. I started breathing through my nose only, like in and out, even at night, even if I'm going to have to tape my freaking mouth shut. And you will not believe the effect it's had on my life, and it's had on my like blood pressure and like my beats per minute with like my heart rate and stuff like that, like my resting heart rate and things of that nature, and how I feel, and like headaches and things like that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm never going to give you any kind of medical advice, but I'm saying, if you want to have a gander at this book, it's interesting. And since breathing only through my nose, it's like what you do when you meditate. It really changes things in your body, and it really changes the makeup in your head, like I say. And all of us, especially me, need to breathe better. Like, everyone needs to breathe better. Who does not need to breathe better in their life? Because I do. I need to breathe better because Spin the Bottle, right, needs me to breathe better. I need to breathe better for that, because if I'm making a custom profile, I'm making a custom scent with you, and we're spinning like a record, and then we make something based on, you know, the record. Let's say we're listening to, you know, something by CCR. I do like a Born on the Bayou scent, you know what I mean? And everybody knows like a little, you know, Louisiana Cajun scent would kind of smell like. You can kind of imagine what a Born on the Bayou scent would kind of smell like. I know what it would smell like. Start with bourbon. You know what I mean? I probably put a little bit of oak moss in there. What I could do with a Born on the Bayou scent. Like, honestly, I would have so much fun with that. But I've done like a Leonard Skinner one. So like I say, I would do a fun one for CCR. I might even do like sweetgrass or something like that, because they have a lot of stuff like growing there, bluegrass, whatever, like different things. But there'd definitely be some bourbon in there. It's so fun, like when I make a profile or we like guess profiles, because we have a game around this house where we'll play like guess the profile. Like Rob and I will like name a person or a thing or a band, and now our like kids play it, and they'll make up a profile for it. And we've got some like bad ones, like for like things that we're not fond of, or like a band that we generally don't like. I'm like, what would the band like this, the smell of this band be? And they'd be like, Wet Dog. There's the garbage bags. There's like, it just is silly, right? Like, but like my sons come up with a bunch of like bangers, and like even my daughters like come up with some really good suggestions. She's just tiny, so it's like, it's fun. Like I said, Rob and I have come up some nasty ones when it's just the adults playing the game. It's fun, but it's amazing the good things and the positive things that you can pass on to your kids while just doing what you do while you work. And the things that they pick up on, the things that they see. Because I don't teach my kids about beard stuff. Like, they come to like work with me sometimes, and I don't teach them about grooming oil, but like they've seen me, and like I've made them put on their PPE, as I call it, personal protective equipment, put on their little hair nets and put on their little gloves and put on their little masks and their little glasses in case I splash anything. They've seen me like mix up big quantities of grooming oil or just like base like the carrier oil before I like send any big batches or anything like that. So they've seen me do that and things like that, and they've seen me make like butters and balms and waxes and stuff like that. So they've observed me doing these things. So it's amazing what you can pass on to your kids, but it's amazing what they pick up on without even you really like teaching them. I talk them through what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I'm putting in this many ounces of this. I'm putting in this many ounces of this. I'm doing this many ounces of this. Like, so they understand what I'm doing. So it's good for them. I think it's good for them to learn. And like I say, speaking of things that you pass on to your kids, if your kids are listening to this podcast, I just want to tell you a thing right now. You fucking failed as a parent. Turn on those parental controls, because seriously, you're going to need all the parental controls this year for 2023. Oh, Jesus. The year of taking zero crap, working hard, still working hard, always, and letting the haters be motivators, letting it kind of turn the frown upside down and just letting it kind of go the other way. I'm going to try that this year in 23. I'm done with 2022. Thank goodness. While so many wonderful things happened in 22, I will say it was probably the most difficult year I've ever had of my life. And probably like the worst year I have had it in my life. Professionally, good. Personally, no. Losing my dad was the worst thing I've definitely ever been through in my entire life. And I'm ready for 2022 to fucking kind of be over. But like I say, now I know that I've been through that. I know I can get through fucking anything. Because I know that he's watching, and I know that he's looking out for me and things like that. The captain's around. I look like Captain Crazy in this hat. New Year's resolutions? I don't really have anything to resolve for New Year's resolutions. I don't have any, bad New Year's things that I feel terrible about that I need to like clear up. I think you only need a New Year's resolution if you have something to actually resolve, which I think can be done any day of the year, not on New Year's. If you have something to resolve, just like talk to the person and resolve it. It's that easy. Or don't resolve it. I don't give a fuck what you do. But seriously, really, like New Year's resolutions are crazy. Then this week, like I say, I saw something that made me really happy this week. I saw that Andrew Tate and his shitbag brother got fucking arrested in Romania for human trafficking. Was I surprised? Not really, because with all the tweets about like money laundering and bragging about money and bragging about women, even like talk of underage women, which are basically children, which are underage girls, underage, like kind of rapey stuff. I don't know why so many people support Andrew Tate. Like, I see him as a really divisive human being, and he doesn't really act on fact. He like acts on experience. Well, my personal experience is this. So for instance, he was arguing about driving. He's like, men are better drivers than women. And statistically, he may think that's true in his experience, but like what science had debunked and what statistical analyses had and risk assessment officers had calculated, and risk assessment calculations had found that on average women were safer drivers, and that's why their insurance was lower and things like that. But he's here trying to argue like the far end of the fart. And I've seen him be shot down by people that he hates all the time. Feminists, anyone who is of a marginalized background or community, anything like that. Anyone from like the LGBTQ two-spirit community. He just doesn't like anyone. Like he runs a school, which is really a pyramid scheme, for men that's supposed to make them manly, which is supposed to get rid of the pussification of North America. It's such bullshit, because it's just a school that breeds misogyny. It's a school that breeds men to have a view of women that is wrong, and men to have a view of men that is wrong. Even like attacking other men. He does that. Like, he's not only like a misogynist, but he's a bigot. He is an anti-feminist. He's racist. He's aligned with a lot of things that I don't personally I would never be aligned with, and I don't want to be aligned with. human trafficking. Like, he was bringing women over to Romania with his brother with the promise of getting married to them and relationships and everything, and then basically forcing them into being cam girls. And everybody knows what that is. I don't have to explain it to you. 21st century rocker mom's not going to go there today. I'm not going there for the new year. I don't need to know. If you need to know what a cam girl is, you can look that up your own self, because I don't need to tell you. And if you use them, you probably know that, you know, what it is. It's prostitution. So they're forced into this lifestyle. And this fucking asshole, the greatest thing I saw was his walk of shame when, like, the Romanian, not the police, but the Romanian fucking army, they're all probably wearing fucking hats like this. Welcome to the jungle, motherfucker. Him and brotherfucker got fucking raided in their house because they left their pizza boxes around. This pizza pirate left his boxes around, so the cops knew exactly where he was and exactly how to get him. And they made him like come out of his place and do what my one good friend calls the perp walk. And as he's like out there walking with his hands behind his back, he's bitching about how the Matrix did this. I'm like, the Matrix did this? I think you've had one too many red pills, brah. Like, seriously, the Matrix did this? No, you did this by prostituting women and exploiting their bodies and making them false promises that you'd never follow through with. Ridiculous. So funny that he got arrested. Surprised? No. You want like a resolution? You say you want a resolution. Well, you know, just stop fucking raping women. And then also stop like money laundering for the mob and then bragging about it on fucking Instagram and also your Twitter feed. Because, like, at one time his Twitter feed was taken away because Elon Musk was like, no, but then like he gave it back to him, and then he gave it back to him so he could do things like pick fights with young ladies like Greta Thunberg. Like, you're picking a fight with an autistic young child. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you as an adult? Like, what kind of morals and pillars do you have when you're like picking a fight with a kid? And when she said small dick energy, she was bang on the money, because that is fucking small dick energy. Sex with underage girls and sex with children and human prostitution and stuff. Did the Matrix fucking plan that too? Jesus Christ. Maybe you should overdose on the fucking pills. You're a fucking idiot. Keanu Reeves isn't coming to save this motherfucker's ass. It's not happening. Bragging about money laundering with the mob, that doesn't impress fucking anybody. I will tell you that right now. It's not impressive. Maybe it impresses some of the jabronis that follow this guy, but building the school and the pyramid scheme to basically like teach men to be fucking cavemen isn't cool. All while like establishing these fake relationships. I don't know, man. If you are an Andrew Tate lover, we better not run into each other. I'll tell you. Everyone said that, he's been released like the day after. I'm like, actually, he's being detained by the Romanian police, and so is his brother, for the next 30 days. I wouldn't call that released the next day. I'd call that busted, disgusted, not to be trusted for at least the next 30 days until they find out what the fuck is going on. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground for, obviously, this Andrew Tate story. And I advise that you probably do too. Because this guy, I'll tell you, his ego and his narcissism are going to be the death of him, because that's what the death of a lot of people is, the ego and the narcissism. I've said this many situations. Like, I've said this so many times, and I've said this in so many situations, that let go of that ego. Let go of your ego, because the hold, like the tighter you grab onto it and the hold you have on it and the hold it has on you, the more you lose grip of like yourself and like your consciousness and all the good parts of you. Let go of that ego. Let go of it. It's not good for you, man. It's not good. I'm saying. The deal is, how is your ego serving you? It's not. You're serving it. Every time you feed it, however you do. Don't do it. And it will dish out more and more of whatever you feed it. So eventually you'll kind of become your ego and probably become something you really don't want. So you know what? Maybe egos need to be resolved. Egos. Across the board. Let them go. The harder you're pulled in by the narcissism and shit, the harder you're actually pulled in by it, the less true you are to like your actual true better self, like your best self. And you're not being authentic to yourself the more you're pulled by that shit. Stay in your own shit. Stay in your own fucking lane. Who gives a shit? Mind your shit. It doesn't matter. Be the best version of yourself. Give that a go. say what you want, do what you want. Like, that's literally what I've always done. You know that. I'm not gonna stop. You know what I mean? Like, somebody threw a glitter bomb on me or something like that. Oh my God. I've been watching some glitter bombs on the internet, and that's funny. I'll put that on my Instagram. That has been something funny that I've been watching about this guy who rigged up these packages. He saw some porch pirates. So he was an engineer. He was unhappy because the police weren't doing anything about it. So he rigged up some POV cell phones and tracking devices on a package that would spray fart spray, the finest silica dust with glitter everywhere, and have horns like blowing off. So he has like pictures of all this stuff happening on the internet. I'll post him on my Instagram as well. And like I say, that was fun to watch on my holidays. Watching these porch pirates, not knowing what's in these boxes and having it explode on them with like farts and like glitter is hilarious. And then like watching them try to dispose of the box, because you see it POV, so you see exactly what they're doing. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I will say another thing that happened. 12 kids later, Nick Cannon welcomes his 12th child into the world with another baby mama. Straight out of condoms. Like, seriously. 12 kids, Nick Cannon? I'm going to start calling him Dick Cannon, because seriously, that guy is straight out of condoms. I'll tell you what else he's straight out of: money. Reports show that Nick Cannon must pay somewhere. Like, I did like the child support calculator on like the Ontario site. I don't know what Nick Cannon pays wherever he lives, but it's something like $3 million a month. Or maybe a year. I don't know. He pays a lot of money in child support because he has a lot of freaking kids. Oh my God. Straight out of condoms. Nick Cannon. I will be straight out of your earbuds or out of your television or out of any of your electronic devices anytime you want, because you know where I am if you need to find me. In the weeks, this week coming and the weeks after that, I will be around. Lots to talk about, lots of things coming, lots of fun, exciting things, and then obviously Spin the Bottle starting, and like I say, lots of giveaways. Rockaholic is actually featured in a giveaway with Bearded RDU. You want to check that out on Bearded RDU's Instagram. Check that out. There's a Rockaholic giveaway of 2 bottles of grooming oil, like 2 that are coming at you. I will send those out to you, and it's for Seth's year day, so that's going to come at you. So look out for that. You can find me anywhere you stream. You can find me anywhere you stream, so I can get up all in your ear holes. Check the subscribe button off, and I'll be there when you need me. And I'm on YouTube at Tanya Candler channel. If you just subscribe again, I'm there. And you get a little notification every time I go and have the podcast out, or I'm doing shorts these days, and they're fun. Shorts are a fun thing to do. If you want to see me on Instagram, I am at 21st Century Rocker Mom, or you can find me pretty much anywhere. You can find me at the Grooming Company. I'm there as well. Like, if you want to find me in the link tree, just go up to the top of my bio in my Instagram, and you can find me there. But I'm always here rocking with you. I'm always just a DM away. I will talk to you soon. I hope you have a wonderful week. And like I say, a very happy new year to you. Looking forward to a very, very good 2023. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. And also celebrating our 100th episode together, because that's obviously happening in 2023. So I am ready for that. And I'm ready for you. Let's go. Let's rock 2023 and let's kick it in the teeth, like I said. Peace out. I will see you next week. Be good to each other. Mwah.